Hello sheeple, Otis Moonlight here, reporting from fascist Australia, and your country is going to be fascist as well, especially since 2020, and we're all sheeple. And hey, look on the bright side, you're probably not as bad as Australia. Let's get straight to the topic. And if you're, oh by the way, but if you're watching me on TikTok or PooTube, please check out BitChute. It's much better and it's just not so fascist. Anyway, this time let's get to it. I want to talk about ACMA and the Indigenous voice to Parliament. You've certainly heard about those, the voice to Parliament if you're in Australia. If you're somewhere else, then let me do my best to explain what they are. Okay, they're both about freedom of speech and having a voice, or maybe sadly the end of these freedoms. So what's ACMA? ACMA is the Aussie Communications and Media Authority, and oh my god, it's an authority. It wants to help turn Australia into even more of a fascist dictatorship than it already is. It wants to completely control our freedom of speech on social media, and things will escalate and escalate and get much worse from there. And what is the Indigenous voice to Parliament? I mean, that one's a little bit harder to tell because the government and the mainstream media halls, they don't seem to be specifying exactly what it is, but it sounds very strongly like an attempt to get Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islanders even more under the thumb of evil bureaucratic garbage by pretending to give them a presence in Parliament, but in reality giving them the responsibility to grovel to the government even more for insignificant changes. Let's start with this ACMA. ACMA are going to decide what is and what isn't misinformation or disinformation. I think misinformation and disinformation are like illegal and unlawful and mean the same thing. Please correct me if I'm wrong. No one body or organisation can possibly justify deciding whether me or you is correct, incorrect, harmful or helpful. And I can assure you bodies like this don't want to. They want to get their way. What they say is how it is and all you're ever supposed to hear. ACMA are supposed to be a completely independent authority with an executive team of some sort that oversee their work. But please tell me that you know, you're fully aware that in actual fact they're going to be another government-funded and controlled group of fascists that love China. The government are, of course, literally, legally exempt. They're not going to be bound by anything this new agency legislates or enforces. They're and they're exempt from near on anything anyway. They're not even pretending to be one of us. Just as with this, where we're really under the thumb, and that was horrible. It still hasn't gone away completely. And and this is going to be with us forever, and we're going to be under the thumb, and this is going to get really bad. But we're not going to deal with that this time. But yeah, we know what it's like to be under the thumb. Us sheeple are going to be the ones that suffer hideously with austere new laws and a new way of life. That's going to be enforced upon us. Now, every little thing like this, well, it's not even a little thing, is ACMA, is another stepping stone, another nail in our coffin. Now, social media companies who are already mostly, you know, on the main part censorship Hitlers anyway, they're going to have to, by law, become even worse. Because if they don't become even worse and censor us even more, they're going to risk major penalties from ACMA, and they may choose to not even operate in fascist dictatorship Australia, and many news organisations and other major content providers will pull away from fascist Aussie land. CNN has already pulled away and won't have anything to do with fascist Australia, and obviously we don't give a damn that they've gone, but we may miss the ones that follow, that also ditch us. I worry about platforms like BitChute and I think Brand YouTube and a lot of others who really tried desperately to give us freedom of speech, and I worry about them being attacked and destroyed by these dictators. And then after they've been destroyed, ACMA or another body of some sort, another government-funded slime bag, they're going to be coming for us. Now, what about this Indigenous voice to Parliament? We have to, here in Oz, vote yes or no. Well, I'm going for no. The Indigenous and all the rest of us need independence from government, not joining it, giving it more power and gaining nothing in return. How about fighting the censorship, like with ACMA, and using a completely free social media constructively, and then we could organise ourselves and you know, share information that either is or isn't approved by Parliament or government in any way. I believe that if the Indigenous agree to an elected small body of sold out Indigenous to go into Parliament and be subservient to other members of Parliament and any higher up politician, and you in return, in turn being subservient to them, then they're just going to try and grow their own power whilst pretending to help you. It's a very bad idea that many of us have made this mistake. Politics is a rigged game, and you cannot beat the system within the system, or certainly by joining the system. Your Indigenous leaders, as with every other leaders, will be corrupted or they'll be replaced. That's how it works. But it's up to you, it's your decision. Well, don't forget, this is Otis Moonlight. Check me out on BitChute. That's the best place. But, you know, at least check me out. The moonlight fades with the morning glow. Good night, sheeple.